Since I was 9 years old, I have had one end goal, one dream, one end all, one be all, one pursuit, one love, one everything. There's just been that one thing. And for me, that was being an actress and a writer. And I knew since I was 9 years old that the only world or way in which I was going to be happy in this life is if I was making movies. I remember so distinctly the exact moment that it hit me. A light bulb went off in my brain. It was like I was receiving, a phone call, a text message from my future self who was like, hey, by the way, this is a hot tip for success for you. And since 9 years old, that has been my guiding light. I moved my whole family out to LA when I was a teenager because I burned through every opportunity in my hometown by the time I was 14. I exhausted all of my resources. I purged and did all of the things you do, and you are wondering at this point, where is she going? Is she just bragging? No, my point is to talk about the burnout that I feel and the fact that for the first time in my life, first time since 9 years old, I don't know how to keep going in the industry. I know so many of us are feeling this way, and I know so many of us are struggling, and the amount of work versus creative work is piling up, and there's not enough hours in a day. There's not enough resources, and it used to be before you could find a balance between gigs to fill all of your multi-hyphenate cups, that you could fill a year with achievements and advancements on each one of those stacks. And with everything consolidating and shrinking, it feels like you're lucky if you have one small micro win in any of those departments. And it's just getting insurmountable to the point where I feel no sense of balance for the first time ever. Like, even during COVID, where was this feeling of the second that there are vaccines, we can get back to work. We had COVID officers, we had other ways around it, and right now nobody feels like they're finding the ways around it. And feel like the burnout, and specifically the gifted kid burnout, along with responsibilities and political climate and economic climate and all these things, is making it so hard to continue. So what do you do when your one and only dream, the only dream you've ever had your whole life? Like, I mean, sure, I had dreams of going to, like, magical schools and all those things, but I never put my all into it. I've never had it be my daily commitment. I've eat, slept, drank, breathed, lived entirely off of this. And maybe not been A-list, but I've been successful enough. I've been successful enough to be happy. What do you do when you don't feel like you're really happy anymore? That's where this whole video gets into, and this whole point. And yes, this foundation was necessary. I want to do a series talking about falling back in love with this again. Because I've been showing up, I've been doing the things, I've been going through the motions, but I haven't been able to find a new way to love all of this. I feel like so much of the love that I have is built in nostalgia, which is beautiful, and I love it. I don't want to lose that. But I feel like I need to find new parts of it to love, or how to approach it with a new self. I don't know. But I was just thinking, like, maybe, because I know a lot of us are struggling, and maybe even if you're not in film and TV struggling, maybe just talking about this will help you as you pivot from careers, because I know a lot of other industries are experiencing a shrinking. And as a lot of us grow up in age and decide we want to prioritize having families, that means we have career shifts. I'm not sure. But I want to try to, like, motivate myself through being accountable to the World Wide Web. That's such a 90s term. Through the accountability of all of this, to, like, show up and do this and try to find a new avenue. And I don't know, maybe I'll fall back in love with it in the old way that I used to love it, and I'll be like nostalgia stacked on nostalgia. Or maybe I will discover there's something new, and I'll have a new perspective and a new fun to all of it that is inclusive of all parts of the journey, including this more difficult part. So anyway, that's a long way to say that in addition to obviously talking about my books and my poetry, and hopefully still including some of my lifestyle stuff, I know it'd be weird, I want to try to incorporate and focus more on the little acts and things that I'm doing here and on my Substack to fall back in love with this because I don't feel ready to walk away, but something's got to change. And yeah, if you have thoughts, tips, starting points, your own personal experience with this, I am all yours, because I genuinely don't want to forfeit this late in the game. I think it's that simple.